Hey, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are asking a huge question, maybe the question, are you really in control of your life? I mean, we all like to think we're in the driver's seat, right? But the source we're diving into today suggests we might not even have our hands on the wheel. And, figuring out why? Well, that's the first step to getting truly free.
So let me just ask you, straight up, that coffee you chose this morning, the career path you're on, the opinions you'd go to the mat for, was that really you choosing? Because the whole idea we're digging into today argues that what we call freedom is mostly a beautiful but pretty powerful illusion. So here's the game plan. First, we're going to shatter the idea of freedom as we know it. Then, we'll peek behind the curtain at the machine that's actually running the show in our minds. And from there, we'll rebuild our whole understanding to figure out where our real power, our true power, actually is. All right. First things first, let's talk about this freedom illusion. We have to see the cage before we can even think about finding the key. And chances are, it's a cage we didn't even know we were living in. See, on the surface, everything feels like a choice. But deep down, we're basically just really advanced calculators. Every single thing we do is this unconscious math problem. How can I get the most pleasure and avoid the most pain? And it's not just our own programming. The clothes we wear, the way we talk, so much of that is just us trying to fit in, chasing the approval of the people around us. Okay, so if our choices are being made by this kind of internal formula, what's in the equation? Well, this concept breaks it all down into a four-part machine. This is like the invisible factory that's constantly building, well, you. Think of yourself as a seed. The first factor is the seed itself. That's your substrate, your DNA, your personality, all the stuff you inherited. Second, if that seed is a wheat seed, it can only grow into wheat. It's never going to be an oak tree. That's its inherent path. Third, you've got the soil, the sun, the water. That's your environment, right? Your friends, the books you read, your teachers. That all determines how well that wheat grows. And finally, number 4 is just random chance. The weather, a sudden drought, a big storm. Things you just can't control. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds kind of bleak, right? Super deterministic. But hang on, because this is the big twist. This is the turning point. Even with all those forces at play, there is one lever that we actually get to pull. And yeah, this is the question we all have to ask. If all that other stuff is already decided, are we just puppets? Can we just throw our hands up and say, hey, not my fault? The answer is a hard no. Because we're given one single point of freedom. Just one. Everything hinges on this. And this is it. This is the whole ball game. Your one true freedom isn't choosing the action itself. It's choosing the environment that will basically make that action inevitable. You can't change the seed that you are, but you absolutely have the power to choose what kind of soil you plant yourself in. Okay, so that sounds good in theory, right? But what does it actually look like? How do we take this big idea and turn it into a real-life strategy? It's really the difference between a smart farmer and a lazy one. The lazy one just kind of tosses their seed on whatever patch of dirt is nearby, hangs out with whoever's around, watches whatever's on. But the wise farmer? Oh no, they study their seed. They know what it needs. And then they go out and find the absolute best soil, the best conditions to make sure that seed has every chance to flourish. And look, this is not some new idea. This is ancient wisdom. Listen to the words here. Make for yourself a teacher. Acquire for yourself a friend. These are action words. It's a command. Don't just accept what you're given. You have to consciously go out and build the environment that's going to shape you into who you want to be. And this flips the whole script on reward and punishment. Think about it. You're not actually punished for doing a bad thing. You're punished for the failure to choose a better environment where you might have done a good thing. And on the flip side, you're not rewarded for the good deed itself. You're rewarded for all the hard work you put into choosing an environment that made that good deed the natural outcome. The action is just the result. The real work was in the choosing. So we've got our one true choice, our environment. But why? Why go to all this trouble? What's the end game here? This is where we go from simple self-improvement to something way, way deeper. This is about the very nature of freedom itself. To get it, we have to look at our factory settings. The source calls it the will to receive. It's that core, hungry part of us, the ego, the voice that's always screaming, I want, I need, give it to me. It's the empty cup we're all born with, and it's the raw material that our environment is constantly shaping.
And this brings us to the most mind-blowing part of this whole explainer. Real freedom, what's metaphorically called freedom from the angel of death. It's not about getting to do whatever you want. It's freedom from wanting in the first place. It's freedom from that nagging, exhausting ego. By using our one point of choice, our environment, to surround ourselves with people and ideas that teach us to give, to connect, we are literally reprogramming our deepest nature. We are using our freedom to free ourselves. That is the ultimate goal.
So at the end of the day, it really all comes down to this. Your mind is being molded by your environment every single second. But the choice of that environment, that's your one true superpower. So the only question that really matters is, what kind of world are you going to start building for yourself today?